Okay, today's funny meme. It's really funny. Today's funny
meme. That's what you just did. Where should I have heard?
So it's like a picture of Neo. Put it up on screen now.
Don't explain the meme, just put the meme up.
Show them the story, don't tell the story.
Yeah, never.
Why INFJs are crippled by criticism. Why are they so crippled by criticism?
Are INFJs quite perfectionistic, or is that just me?
Yes. Yes, they are.
That is a huge part of it. Not being able to cop that you could have fucked up. Criticism sometimes implies that you've hurt someone or done something wrong by someone. I think it's the moral element of it. It's not so much your ego element. I don't think I get super butthurt if my ego is bruised. I think I get mostly upset that I could have inflicted some kind of like dangerous error or problem upon someone.
Yeah.
That's the criticism that hurts me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not like you have an ugly face. I'd be like, yeah, that hurts my feelings, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning being like, did I do that thing? The criticism that stings the most, I would say, for us as INFJs, or at least myself, is the stuff that pertains to my skill set in providing care.
Yeah. So
really work.
You got to find out which area are you really sensitive about criticism and what's behind all that.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sensitive about criticism at my workplace too, because I just feel like I don't really feel like I'm suited as much as other people are in the workplace. And so I feel like I've done a lot of...
I think that's because you feel like you don't suit anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So marginalization is something that some point that we had put down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're already bending over backwards to fit in, and now it's still not good enough. It's like it's their world. It's your place. It's meant for you guys, meant for you extroverts, blah, 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 ja, ja, ja. Like, we don't say, hey, shut up, everyone. Stop talking at each other.
Just chill on the gossip. I want to be in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. But you know what I just realized that I think is probably the key element to why criticism stings so much is because we constantly criticize ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's like other people who don't walk around with an intense, highly critical internal monologue could probably cop a bit of external abuse.
Yeah.
But when your internal monologue is like, hey, you piece of shit, you really could have done better on that. I'm not saying that's the constant, but that probably comes up more frequently than other people. Or, hey man, like, did you notice you did that thing wrong? Did you notice you did that? How about that thing? What about you think about that thing? But like, if you didn't have that constant dialogue, I think a few external pieces from other people, because it's not being reaffirmed, because then when they criticize you, you're like, yeah, I do suck. Thanks for reaffirming the thoughts that I've already been implanting for an extended period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was just living my life and occasionally someone told me I wasn't very good at something, I feel like it's not constantly backed up by your own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's like, for instance, I had this time where I was precepting a student and I had this issue with the clinical nurse and the NUM, and they called me in the office and they're like, why did you put this student with this difficult patient? And to me, I was like, well, I've been in the situation where I've got these easy patients and they offer pretty much no diagnostic features about them. You're not going to get anything out of it. You're there to learn, and you're just not going to learn from these particular people. And that was my rationale. And they were just like, do you not want her to be a nurse or something? I'm like, fuck, like, what the fuck is this? Some kind of interrogation? Like, what kind of character assassination is this? And really, is it necessary? So that was one instance where I was pretty sensitive. I've gotten a little bit more confident about it. When you're like a kind of younger INFJ, you just feel like everyone is a bit more like you. But now as I get older, I realize how much people aren't like me. And it's not a matter of that I don't fit in, I'm a deficit. It's just, I am me.
Just different.
I am me, I'm different. And I am not deficient. I'm
yeah.
better than other people in some areas.
Yeah.
I've got...
Well, you're more skilled in some ways than other people. You're not better than people.
Well,
But
we all
also-
have our strengths and
yeah.
weaknesses. When I was younger, I just thought, I only saw the deficiencies in me.
Yeah.
I never saw any of the strengths that INFJs have. And so
No.
when people would criticize me, I was just like, fuck, another thing, hey?
Yeah.
That's
How about you
an
add
extra
that
thing.
to the list I've already written about myself of things to criticize myself with.
And now...
Especially when they line up with things you already say about yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
Now I just think, okay, you just have a different perception of things than I do. And I can kind of see how you misread the situation or me. And that ain't about me. It's all about them. Everything is a projection. That's what you need to understand. INFJs project things. Non-INFJs that we meet, they'll project things on us. Some may be more accurate than others, but still, it's still a perception. I think this topic's reminded me, I can't remember who said it, I think it was Seneca or Epictetus, and I'll paraphrase it, but I'll put the real quote up. He says, like in referring to being criticized, this really helpful quote, he says, he learnt that about my deficiency. He must have not known all these other things, or he would have criticized me more harshly.
Yeah.
I just found when I read that, I was like, I need that. I needed that in my life. I needed that when I was 16. I needed it when I was 24. I needed it when I was 30. And goddamn, I needed it when I was 32.
How to take criticism when you're a highly sensitive person.
Yeah.
Because I often have to really prepare myself just on a daily basis for the criticism that I'm going to cop. And it's not. The thing is, I don't even get criticized that much. But I'm like on guard, ready for it. What are you going to say to me? And that's going into it prepared isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because the world can be quite pointy for people that are quite sensitive. I think having thick skin is important because we keep people at a distance, and then once we let them in, I think that's the bit where criticism can get really fierce. It's like you don't let people in, you don't let them in, you keep them at arm's length, and then you go, I deem thee trustworthy. And then when you let them in, and then they burn you, they criticize you, that's when you're like, you've got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, criticism's fine, but like when it's coming from someone you've let in, like, past the moat, you've observed them from the outside, you're like, all right. In that moment of vulnerability, you let them in, and then they scorn you, and you like get hit triply hard.
I think the thing is, if I don't have a good connection with someone, I'm not going to be able to take their criticism too well. If I feel like they're a bit of an asshole, or if I feel like they're a type of people that will throw you under the bus, or just a bit unkind and not welcoming to new people. They're just kind of like a little bit of a social savage.
Especially if I've already judged them as like morally a bit bankrupt.
Yeah.
If I've seen you do heaps of shit things that you don't think are bad things, but are like absolutely not just an INFJ perspective a bad thing, but if I think you're a bit of a tool and you be coming at me and criticizing me, I'm not going to take to that very well, because I think that your opinion is horseshit because you're a bad person. That should probably not go in the video. That's a little too sassy. But how do I say that in an appropriate way?
No, you can say that. This is a free space, freedom of speech.
That's the issue, I think, with the INFJ, just constant moral and ethical expectations of everyone that we meet are going to meet those standards. And it's funny when you see the memes too that we don't hold ourselves to those same standards, but that's a whole other journey in itself. But so when you're just trying to have a regular relationship with someone, just at the shops, at the whatever, workplace, anything, any type of relationship has to be met by these unmeetable standards. That's exhausting. And then when someone who doesn't meet your moral and ethical standards of living, and then they come and try and criticize you over something, especially if it's something trivial, and you're like, but you don't want to live right,
Yeah.
how can you come and get me for that thing that I'm sensitive about?
Yeah. Yeah. Another point is you've got to understand some people do criticisms for a completely different reason. They may even like a little bit of teasing. They just think,
Yeah,
they think
light
if,
bullying.
if you can't cope with this, then how are you going to cope with other things that are going to be difficult in our job?
Yeah.
They're like testing you.
Yeah.
People, it's like a shit test.
I don't like that type of resilience building. I think that it's like a pack mentality thing.
Yeah.
And we can survive them pretty well because I think we're pretty resourceful as people. We survive them, but I don't take well from it. I don't grow from it. I really don't. I remember it and I'll hold that and store that somewhere for later on. I don't want to say that that's the case, but it's true. It's like, don't test me like that.
I used to be in the Army Reserve
That's,
for 5 years, and that's the kind of thing. Military, police, these kind of gruff jobs, I would not recommend them if you're an INFJ. They do help you develop in some ways,
It's similar
but you
in
can
a
develop
social-
in a different way. If you do a really good workout routine, you'll develop discipline in that way.
Yeah,
But
don't go to the army for it. It's
yeah,
not for you.
I feel like a lot of INFJs try and do things that they're not good at because they're just, I don't know why. Maybe we just feel marginalized and we're always trying to fit in a little bit, or we have a lot.
We're trying to do the helper thing, but the helper thing isn't a job that's not suited to who we are.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like trying to help people, but we can't help them that way because other people can do the helping without getting hurt, but when we do the helping, we get the hurting too. If we're doing, does that make sense?
We feel like we shouldn't be nurses, even though we both are. And I feel like we're both very good nurses, but it's just the peers. They seem to do better at the end of the day.
Yeah, I got too many
And
feelings.
we feel like totally cooked at the end of the day.
Cooked. Too much peopling, too many feelings.
But we want to help people. We're there to help people. It's in our nature.
It is
It's
a conflict.
like having a meaningful life is a really big thing for INFJs.
Significance and meaning. Significance is important for everyone, but meaning, particularly in doing work that has a very strong purpose, is pretty essential.
Have we gotten off track? I think a little bit. So, criticism. Last point from me. Just know that they're not criticizing the real you. They don't really see who you really are. They're just seeing a projection of who they think you are. So don't take it as personally as what you might be inclined to.
And we're chameleons too, we mirror behavior. Like, who are they really criticizing? Which version of yourself are they criticizing today? That doesn't mean you're being disingenuous, but you have a tendency to mirror other people's behavior in order to make them feel comfortable. If they're criticizing you for behavior that you're mirroring of them, then you do realize that they're just projecting, right? They're literally just, so you can sit back and go like, well, okay, cool, I can take this criticism, that's fine. I'll take this home, I'll unpack it for probably way too many hours, but also think to yourself, is that criticism directed at my inner self? Is this worth taking on board? Is this actually relevant to who I am? Or are they criticizing the version of myself that I created to feel comfortable around people because you built like a wall?
Yeah. And they're often telling you more about them than they're talking about you when they criticize you. They're telling you who they are. They're not telling you who you are.
They're not coming into your
remember
home
that.
and criticizing your deepest.
They don't know who you are.
They don't know.
They know.
No offense.
They know such small amounts about you. So just like they're just talking about them. If you can appreciate that and truly
But also
realize
do
that.
learn to take criticism because criticism is important
Yeah.
to learn how to take. We're not saying like everybody's wrong and you're always right. This is
Yeah.
entirely untrue.
Where can it be
But-
true?
Yeah, find.
You're a murderer.
Is it true?
Well,
I murder
I
your
eat
man.
meat.
Yeah, you eat meat.
I've used
wiped.
bug spray in the past.
Correct.
Perhaps it's true, and that just see where it is
Where it is
true.
true.
That's also very helpful.
How is this true? For me. Someone says, at least you're slow at that thing. You need to be better at that thing. And you're like, you're right, I am slow. That's true. I can see how I've been slow in that thing.
Yeah, if you
You've
just
fallen
like,
behind. I can see how I have fallen behind. I can see that.
yeah, take your ego out of the
Yeah.
equation. Realize that you haven't been diminished. You haven't been diminished by this little critique at all. You're still the beautiful person that you are. So just let it feel the pain and let it just
The weeping bullet holes.
yeah. You're like
The weeping wounds.
like a branch in the wind. You just like it knocks you back a little bit and you just like flex back because you're a strong person. So that's all I have to say.
Yes. Good luck editing that. And it's been nice chatting with you.
Yeah. Tell us how you take criticism. Do you take it okay?
And if you do, who do you take it okay from?
Yeah. And where do you not take it?
Yeah. Have
So,
a little think about that one.
Gracefully. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Please press like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye guys.